All right, what's up, everybody? It is me, Insanity, here, and I have the honor and privilege of having with me today Matt Rice. He is a vocalist for the Virginia-based Yesterday Saints. How's it going today, brother?
It's going very well, sir. Thank you very much for having me on, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, not a problem. Love to spotlight music that maybe other people aren't spotlighting and highlighting on. Now, I see you guys are from Washington D.C., but where do you guys actually call home? Where do you guys say you're based out of in Virginia?
We say Washington D.C. because it's the metropolitan area here. We all live in Northern Virginia, and pretty much counties that are contiguous to Washington D.C. So it's easier than saying Chantilly or Manassas or something like that.
Yeah, 'cause people go, "What the hell? What's Manassas?"
What's a Manassas?
What's a Manassas? Don't talk about my Manassas.
Exactly. I don't think I'm comfortable with you talking to me about that.
Yeah, I don't think I've known you long enough, dude. But okay, so Washington D.C. That's cool. That's I know there's been a few bands that come out of Washington D.C. So is there any? Let me get to the first question here. Is there any relevance or any kind of special meaning behind Yesterday Saints, or is that something that just kind of a catchy name you guys came up with, or is there any kind of like deep meaning behind you guys naming the band that?
It's something that when I came up with it, it just was something that sounded good and worked for everybody. But as over the course of time here, it has developed into having a deeper meaning. And the name of the band is now tying into the concept album that we've written, as well as we've already started brainstorming for the next album, and that trend of a greater concept tying back to Yesterday Saints is looking like it's going to transcend again.
Oh yeah, dude. So that concept album, that's the newest one, the Generation of Vipers. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, Generation of Vipers, which we just released on February 3rd.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that, by the way. I had a chance to listen through. I had kind of short notice on this interview, but I had a chance to listen to, I think, the first three songs, and I was reading a little bit about the story of the album itself, and said it wanted to be like operatic, like in the fact that you have like different acts and stuff. Nobody's really done that. Whose idea was it, or was it a collective effort of the band to say, let's just do this in like little chunks and do different kind of genres or makeup of songs as we go along?
Well, it's something that kind of, I'm going to probably reference this a lot, how the writing has revealed itself to us. It's told us what we want to do with it. The concept is something that I had come up with and presented to the guys, and we sat down and I showed the flow of the story, and we did a storyboard for the album. As we wrote the album storyboard, we decided the type of song or the type of feeling that we wanted each of those songs to be. Mm-hmm. Listening to the first act, we hit on a lot of melodic death and maybe some power metal choruses and things like that. And we really wanted that to be of a lot of angst and brutality, because it's the beginning of Satan's decisions to realize that he can usurp the throne of God, to recruiting the rebel angels to help him fight the war in heaven and try to actually usurp the throne of God, which is displayed in the first song of the album, where it's written in a flashback and Fall of the Ancients, and then it returns to chronology from there. The flow then changed as we went into the second act and realized, okay, if this is going to go into the next portion, mm-hmm. It makes sense, just like an opera or a musical would be. The beginning of the second act starts out slow and maybe a little bit more doomy and kind of eases people back into the storyline after the brutality of the first one.
Yeah.
So as we were writing this along, it just kind of showed itself as the flow of how it was going to go. And then through that, it told us that this is an opera, and it was easily broken into three acts with three scenes. And that's when we put in the instrumentals for the interlude of track 4 with A Priori, and then the outro, which is track 11, Lupus and Mane.
Very cool.
It all just kind of showed itself, and then the recursion factor was able to be displayed through that outro at the end of the song, which loops it back around into the beginning of Fall of the Ancients. When you get to that point, you'll be able to listen to the end of track 11 and hear how it directly relates to track 1. Wow,
that's pretty deep stuff. I mean, that's, I wish more bands had that kind of insight into, I mean, is this a whole big thing. It's just a whole big kind of production, and it's amazing. When I was reading about this, I was like, man, this is really, really unique and something that nobody's done. Now, for you as a songwriter, and I guess you can't really speak for the rest of your bandmates, but is it hard or difficult for you to go from the feel and the flow of a melodic death to a doom as far as lyrically, or is it something that you can pretty much write about the same things and just kind of give it a different kind of feel or a different spin on it with the vocals and with the sound?
Well, a lot of the sound or the style approach that I use vocally is dictated by how the music is written. And, like I said, with the storyboarding that we did, we had an idea on how we wanted the songs to feel. So that pretty much kind of gave us an idea. We talked about, the type of voicings that I would use for these songs, but some of them, it just came out in what the guys wrote. Because what happens for us is our drummer Albert and our guitarist Whit will get together and they'll start brainstorming riffs and putting things together. And our bassist John will get in there in the mix as well. And then they'll present things to me, and then, we kind of talk about it and hash things out for the arrangement. And then once we have the song completed, I bring it home, I put the lyrics to it. And as you can see over the course of time in music, sometimes the lyrics don't actually matter. So
yeah, definitely. There's more, some genres that it really doesn't. Yeah, I totally get you there, man. Yeah.
And as time goes on, there becomes less and less words versus just syllables. So as far as the voicings on these things and what I'm writing, that comes through with the way that I write, which is more of a multiple perspective point of view, where it's a conversation between multiple people or a person and their thoughts. So that kind of transcends the emotion which is necessary that I relay in the voicing, whether it's death metal, power metal, or thrash, or whatever it is that I'm coming up with at the time.
Gotcha. Now for your fans and everything, was there anything in your mind or any kind of worry or I guess anxiety to a point to where, because you got a lot of different things going on, melodic death and then you got the power and thrash. Was there any kind of concern of the fact that maybe the fans themselves or that the media wouldn't really understand what your band is about, like get lost in the shuffle as far as because you got so many things going on? Was there ever a concern about that?
Yeah, there was some thoughts and conversations, and we'd talked about it in the fact that we understand that there's purists out there that aren't going to like it because it's not true melodic death, or it's not true death metal, or it's not true power metal, or it's not true whatever. But when it came down to it, we're writing this for ourselves. We wanted to do something different and epic. It wasn't something that we, and I know that word epic is so overused, but nonetheless, that's what our hopes and intentions was to write something that would be very gratifying for us. And we weren't going to worry about the purists out there that were going to poo-poo it. And in fact, I've told many people, it's like, if you don't like it and you're in the press or the media, fantastic. Please write about it. Please destroy it. But when you do, use the best adjectives and adverbs that you can come up with to explain to everybody how much you hate it.
That's awesome. And I love to hear that response from musicians because, in a day where people just jump ship and they go for you'll have a total like metal band and they're just, balls to the wall, and then they just come out with some crap that could be on like a Taylor Swift album or something. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what are you doing? And it's kind of like losing your identity for the sake. It's almost like selling your soul. And so to hear a musician say, we're writing it for ourselves, we wanted something epic, that's totally cool, man. Cause I could totally get on board with that. Like cause from my standpoint, as a musician, I would think that you would want, even if you had less fans, but your fans were super loyal, that'd be better than having a bunch of like just people that just follow you just mindlessly and aren't really that hardcore. Is that kind of the approach you take?
Yeah, I mean, it's we didn't go out saying that we're going to do this and we're going to have these types of fans and it's going to be fantastic, and all of our fans are going to be smart billionaires and they're going to,
smart billionaires, yeah.
It wasn't something that we approached that way, but we obviously have written something that appeals to some intelligent people. And, that's something that, I personally wanted to do, is I wanted to write something that was much more interactive and fun for a long haul than an album that was a collection of songs.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really thought about intently as far as, how people were going to react was I wanted to write an album. I wanted it to be something that people would want the whole thing, would sit down with the album art and look at it and soak it all in, and then maybe go and find the lyrics and work in trying to figure out what they meant. And then from there, in this day and age, I was like, well, we have the internet, and that's a fantastic source, and everybody carries it in their pocket. Maybe it'd be good to throw some things into the storyline that goes even deeper beyond the stories that have been told to us over the course of our lives. If you're Catholic or Jewish or Muslim faith, that you get some of these stories from the creation of man and so on and so forth, to be able to then research that further into what I've put out there and make up your own minds and decisions on things. So having all of that interactive experience come back to the album, much more than just a collection of songs, is that was the thought that I put into how I wanted fans versus how many or what type or any type of stuff like that. I just wanted to provide something for them to do.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, that is very deep, and that's, I dig it. It's like you said, it's not just a bunch of just stuff just written on paper and just making music just for the sake of putting an album out. You really have a lot of meaning and depth behind it. So kudos to you, man. That's something that not a lot of people are doing nowadays, and so you guys definitely people need to be paying attention to you guys and definitely checking you out. Now, for support of this, do you guys have any plans as far as big tours coming up? Anything in support of this album?
We don't have anything quote unquote, big right now. We have about a 10 to 12 day Northeast and New England tour or run starting next month, that we're going to go out with the band Iron Man. That's on Rise Above Records and distributed here in the U.S. by Metal Blade.
Okay.
So
cool.
They're from the same area. They're a doom band. We're fortunate that we've been able to blend with pretty much any other acts that are out there in the extreme metal genres. So we're going to go out with them for 10 days. I've been talking to our booking agent about maybe doing something else in May, and then been talking to some bands here in the U.S. as well as Europe about maybe doing a 30 or 45 day tour in the fall to get us throughout the U.S. and Canada.
Hell yeah, man. Well, definitely keep us up to date. At Echo Asylum, will definitely help push you guys and promote you guys and tell everybody where you're at so they can check out this, your unique style of music writing, like songwriting, and you guys actually put something into it. So, I'm definitely going to promote you guys and push you guys hard, because you deserve to be, seen and heard, because I just hearing you talk about the album, I just think everybody should go out and buy a copy. Honestly, that's what they should do. They should go out and buy a copy of this album.
Thanks, and I and the rest of the band 100% agree behind
that. So go buy it. Don't support music that's crap and auto-tuned and lip sync. Go support real. You want real artistry, like Kanye's talking about. Kanye West, that guy's a fucking dick. I said on Facebook, one of my friends says all the time, her favorite phrase is, they can go suck on a bag of dicks. That's what Kanye West can do, right?
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I'd like to see him try to pull that trick with somebody a little more profound, like Zakk Wylde or shit. Maybe one day I'll be able to get to stand on that stage, and maybe he can pull that shit with me.
Oh yeah, you rip him a new one. I would love to see that. That'd be like the highlight of it. You'd go to jail, but I'd bail you out, brother. Don't worry, I got your back.
I appreciate it, man. Because there wouldn't be much conversation.
Oh yeah. Well, and it'd be real conversation about real shit going on instead of this. And that's why I like this music. That's why I follow this kind of music, because it's real and it's. Everybody writes, you write and you sing, and even though at some concerts, some bands may not exactly sing on in tune every time, but you know what? At least they're singing for real. They're not they're not being they're not singing with machines.
Choreography.
Horrible, just horrible. Music sucks. Most of it. The popular music is god awful. and Kanye West can go suck a bag of dicks. That's all I can say.
Exactly. And if he needs the bag of dicks provided, I'm sure we can find people to get that for him.
Oh yeah. we'll hook that right up, Kanye.
Exactly. We can make arrangements for that pretty quick.
Oh yeah. So sorry. On that wonderful note, let's go ahead and get your your social.
Talking about bags of dicks.
Yeah. Speaking of bags of dicks, no. So where can everybody find you guys at? Where can they get your album? I'm sure iTunes and
we're on
Amazon MP3 or.
Yeah, Amazon MP3, a whole bunch of other ones that I couldn't list for you right offhand.
Shitload of them.
If you go to yesterdaysaints.com, that gives a nice link to right in the center of the screen to be able to go and buy a physical copy of the CD that will ship worldwide.
Very cool.
So that's the place to find us. We're on Facebook. We're pretty active on there, and that's just facebook.com/yesterdaysaints. 2 S's in the middle. We are plural possessive. And
well, you'd have it no other way, sir.
Exactly, or we're possessive, then plural, either way.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Instagram, we're on there. We're putting stuff on there occasionally, and when we get out on the road, there's going to be a lot more Instagram stuff to follow around and see videos and things like that with us. So,
oh yeah, dude.
And then Twitter as well.
Well, if you guys ever near Knoxville, I don't know northeast, but if you guys are ever within driving range of me, I might come out and shoot you guys. Shoot the performance and stuff. I love to take pictures and stuff. So maybe I'll come out and hang out. And we can have a couple beers or something together.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. That's probably a direction that we're going to be looking ahead, probably in May time frame.
Oh yeah,
so keep an eye out for us. I'm sure that we'll be doing press, and John will be putting stuff out for us to let everybody know. Keep my number here so that way when we do get in your neck of the woods, or you're in the neck of the woods that we just happen to be that day, shoot me a telephone call or a text message, and I'll make sure to get you on the list and get you taken care of.
Cool, man. Well, I definitely appreciate your time. Go check out these guys, Yesterday Saints. This has been with the vocalist, Matt. And I appreciate your time, man, on this, Tuesday night. So I appreciate your time and hope you guys go and rule the world, man. Take over the world with real artistry and real music. So I appreciate your time tonight, brother. And you just go melt some faces, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it very much. And, we're excited to get out there and get as many faces in front of us to melt. So
hell yeah.
If that happens, the sooner we'll be happier.
Rock on, man. Horns up. And this has been Insanity here for Echo Asylum with Matt Rice, the lead vocalist of Yesterday Saints.